morning and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. And we're here this morning at a home in downtown Woodbridge to continue a program we brought on announced last year, to help combat the Zika virus throughout our area. In town, there are, as in any town in New Jersey or the country, there's many abandoned homes. And in many cases, these homes have pools that are a threat, an imminent health hazard to the residents of Woodbridge Township because of the fact that there's standing water, which can breed mosquitoes, which can breed the Zika virus. So last year we had a very concerted effort to remove these pools. We contacted 20 homeowners who agreed to take down their own pools because they weren't active and they weren't maintaining them. And we also aggressively identified 18 pools that we took down. And when we do that, we go in, we engage a crew, they come in, do the work, take the pool down, charge us, and then what we do is we place a lien on the property owner's taxes, and then ultimately at some point that house will get sold and we will get reimbursed. But that's not even what's important. What's important is to address the health hazard immediately. This year we've identified several other pools. Today's our first one of 2017. There'll be another one tomorrow, another one Saturday, and then we'll continue the program into next year. One new addition this year is that we're starting with built-in pools. We didn't do any of them last year. They're much more difficult, as you can imagine, to deal with. But this year we're aggressively targeting built-in pools because they're just as dangerous. In this case today, a resident tipped us off as to the lack of property maintenance on the home. We then went through the normal process of trying to contact the homeowners, trying to contact the bank, trying to contact the mortgage company. Somehow, some way, somebody is ultimately responsible for this. But as you can imagine, in today's economy, with so many foreclosed homes and so many abandoned properties, it is very, very difficult to find an owner and find a responsible party who will agree to pay for the necessary lawn cutting and debris cleanup and pool removal. So in this case, we're just going ahead. We're doing it for the betterment of our residents. We're taking the pool down, getting rid of the hazard, and then ultimately we'll be paid for it. With me is Dennis Green, our health department director. Dennis, would you like to say a few words to add to that?
Just very quick, thank you, Mayor. Everybody knows that mosquitoes breed very fast, and we really want to reduce the population of mosquitoes. The most effective way is to get rid of the breeding. This is a great way to do it, and so we've been very proactive last year. We're going to continue to be very proactive this year, whether it's removing the pools, treating the areas that we can't where we can't remove the pools, and just being very proactive and staying on top of it. So what we do want to encourage all the residents that if you do know places where standing water is present, give us a call. You can call the health department, 732-855-0600, extension 5027, and we'll get on top of it. And we work very closely with the Middlesex County Mosquito Commission, so together we will address any standing water areas where mosquitoes will breed. Thank you.
And in today's case, it's not just the pool, because if you look around, you see over there's a liner, some plastic tarps, an old raft, all breeding grounds, not just the pool, but right there is a perfect case of, I'll just hold this, a perfect case of a breeding ground for mosquitoes, right there, not even counting the pool. Just look around the area, the grass is 18 inches high, so this is a house we'll definitely take care of and make it better for all of Woodbridge residents.
Right, so the problem with in-ground pools is most of them that are dilapidated are just collapsing in. So we really have to remove the whole structure. Sometimes it's concrete, sometimes it's just the metal structure and what have you. So we're actually going to go in and actually remove the whole structure and then refill in that hole, so it's a nice level surface, so no water stands. There's no pooling water for breeding.
If it's in decent shape, then what do you do?
Well, if it's in decent shape, what we're going to do is we're probably going to have them covered. If they're put those, very durable covers that protect the pool from standing water, but also protect if anyone is close to it from injury or hazard and things like that. So.
Right. And then treat the water.
Treat the water,
exactly, yeah. So we work, like I said, we're very close with the Mosquito Commission. There's a couple different ways. So if we have water that is standing and it's pretty decent capacity of water, the Mosquito Commission will actually put fish in there, and the fish will actually eat the mosquito larvae, which will control the population very well.
So far you have identified 3 pools that...
There's 3 on the list for this weekend. There's others on the list for future action, but today, tomorrow, and Saturday, there'll be 1 each taken down.
How many are you looking to?
So there's a process. So as we get to... So there's a process. So as we get to notifications or complaints, what we do is we notice the homeowners. We give them some time to correct. If we find that the notices aren't coming back or the people aren't being responsive, then we go to the next step, which is here. to remove it. But usually homeowners are pretty responsive and they'll take care of the problems themselves. So there's a process. So we get complaints in literally probably every week, if not every day, especially at this time of year. So we just go through a process and make sure that the homeowners are all addressing those pool and water issues.
Are the banks demolished at this point?
Well, last year was 38. I would imagine it would hopefully be less, but the fact that we're adding built-in pools, it might be the same. But I can guarantee you, with all these cameras here and people watching all over, there'll be a lot more notifications to my office today, tomorrow, and next week.
Do you ever ask the banks and the mortgage companies to pony up?
Yes, we actually, not just related to pools, we actually have a plan where when we identify abandoned properties, we've instituted an ordinance that charges the banks $1,000 per year to register that property with us as abandoned, and then we keep on them. We actually went through about 18 months ago with a list of 36 abandoned properties, and I'm happy to say that as of today, all 36 were addressed. Either the homeowner came in and fixed things up, or the bank or the mortgage company or whoever was responsible came in and fixed it up, and most of those homes were sold, and the new owners, if the old owner didn't fix it up and the bank and mortgage company didn't, the new owner came in and fixed it up. The trick is once you start charging people, they pay attention and they start acting, because they're going to have to shell out $1,000 a year. No one wants to do that. They'd rather fix the problem and be done with it. So that ordinance really helped. 36 homes, all back productive, and we have a whole list ready to go now within the next 30 days to get another round of activity.
Have you charged any for pools?
Oh yes, we charge the pools back too, absolutely. The homeowners back.
I'm sorry, hold on just a second.
John, how do you propose to deal with the in-ground pools that you've added to your target list now?
If we have to take them out, usually we don't want to take out a pool that's in good shape. We'll just cover it, treat the water, make sure it's safe, make sure nobody can get in, because we don't want to wreck the homeowner's value. But if it's a house, a pool that's collapsing and clearly not salvageable, then we'll just take it out. We haven't done it yet, but that's on our list for this year, is to go after the built-in pools.
Take it out and fill in the hole with dirt?
And fill in the hole with dirt and treat it, and then add up the bill and send it to them and add it to the lien on the property.
And have you identified any of these yet?
Yes, right?
Yeah, we have between 2 and 4.
4 in-ground.
Okay,
Yeah, 4 in-ground pools.
So we have 2 that we're definitely looking at, and that are definitely collapsing in, and that definitely need to be removed. The other 2 we're evaluating now, so possibly a total of 4 at this point.
Can you tell us a little bit about the complaint that came in? Is it a neighbor?
Yeah, it's almost always a neighbor. Look, if you live in a single-family residential neighborhood and you keep your property up, you expect everyone else to do the same. Because someday everyone's going to sell their property, and they want the street to look good, and they want the neighborhood to look good, and they don't want to live next door to a house with 18-inch grass and a pool collapsing when someone's looking at your house. So our best eyes and ears are the neighbors, and we have a hotline, and we aggressively publicize it, and we aggressively ask people to report cases of improper property maintenance. We ask people to report cases of illegal housing or unregistered cars on the street, or any number of violations. People know that they can call us and we'll take action on it. So it really is a neighbor calling in on a house in their neighborhood.
Do they have to send pictures or videos along with it?
No. Actually, just today on my phone, I got a text from somebody in a house over on Grady Avenue in Woodbridge saying, please check this house out. They don't have to. They can just contact us. It's anonymous. It's confidential. No one ever knows who's complaining. And they just got to say, look at 123 Main Street, high grass, pool's collapsing, car on the lawn, roof has a hole in it, and we get our people out there. We have a crew of a half dozen inspectors. They work Monday through Saturday. They each have a zone, and they get out right away and they address these issues. We'll send the homeowner a notice. They have some time to respond. If not, they're issued a summons. And if they still don't respond, it's a violation notice and they have to appear in court. We take very seriously the fact that people want this town to look good, and we have to do our job to make sure that it does.
The Grady Avenue one was about a pool?
No, just the front, high grass. It was just they didn't even give me the number. They just showed me a picture of it. So I texted the woman back and said, send me the number. So I don't have to go driving around looking for the home.
Does Woodbridge have an ordinance where if the grass gets a certain amount high, you can cut it and then charge?
Well, we can't just go out and cut it. We have to notify them.
Well, yeah.
What is it, Bob, 8 inches? Grass? 6 inches. If it's higher than 6 inches, it's potentially a violation.
Okay.
But we don't just jump in and start cutting it. We do give the homeowners an opportunity. But in the case of an abandoned home, we have to make our effort to contact the homeowner, the bank, whoever's responsible. Somebody's responsible, ultimately, on every house in every town in every state in the country. Somebody is responsible for that house. The trick is finding them. And if you can't, you do it anyway, and they pay ultimately.
Reports of any cases of Zika in Woodbridge?
No.
Not
No
even
reports.
travel related, nothing.
No, but you can't wait for the first report to act. You have to act when you know there's a clear and present
right.
danger.
And it's not just Zika. There's West Nile, and it's not just Zika, but there are other viruses and diseases that are transmitted by mosquitoes, like West Nile virus, which is present in New Jersey. So we want to make sure that we eliminate that. Mosquitoes aren't just a nuisance, but they can transmit disease. So we want to make sure we can eliminate that hazard as much as possible.